The I Ching is a living transmission of the divine, of consciousness. The I Ching, the Book of Change, is a map of the 64 changing cosmic frequencies of life, of consciousness. This is an ancient wisdom from thousands of years ago that was used to track and harmonize with the forces of nature in order to guide the people, an empire, a civilization. In the 1960s, humanity discovered the 64 genetic codons, our DNA. Magically, they have the same mathematical formula, the same exact geometry as the 64 I Chings. Every 6 days, the sun activates one of these 64 I Ching frequencies, which activates within us a corresponding genetic codon, which stimulates our consciousness, the theme of the life. When we enter into contemplation with a particular I Ching, especially with the I Ching the sun activates each week, then life sends us the experiences we need to unlock the shadow, which raises our vibration and awakens the divine within. The intention of this video is to serve you in the highest blessed way. This is abstract energy of sensing, so receive this message with your heart and body. This week, the sun within us, consciousness, life, activates the 21st I Ching. The transformational path of this frequency moves us from the shadow of control to the highest vibration of valor through the path of authority. The original name of this hexagram in the I Ching is named biting through, and it was traditionally compared to the jaws when going through difficult obstacles. So there's quite a bit of heaviness in this frequency. The symbols that make up this hexagram is thunder and lightning. So thunder below and lightning above. Lightning, of course, can be seen as the shining light of illumination, a breakthrough. The shadow here is control, both about losing control and trying to maintain control. Life challenges us constantly to be in a balance between maintaining control and being flexible enough to change, to accommodate a new situation. All the shadow states are rooted in fear, and the greatest fear is that one day we may cease to be, which is what drives this need to keep control. And the plot thickens more when we take into consideration the dilemma of the 21st shadow of control, which is discipline. Can you stay in control of yourself? What happens if you give in to your weakness? We need enough discipline to keep us from being a victim of something or someone outside ourselves. And on the other hand, too much discipline will create rebellion or resistance in our environment. Let's get more specific. Let's use the example as parents. If you try to control your children too much, you will fail. If you over-discipline them, they will eventually be set against you. But on the other hand, too few boundaries also leads to them being out of control. The shadow here exerts control in the old style, in the old school. It uses consequences and punishments to get control. But the problem with that, it only works for a while. We need to remember, the I Ching was originally used to help people govern their culture. In fact, a whole nation, a civilization. So rulers who were forceful, they would get what they want for a while, but eventually their empire always crumbled. It's a universal proven fact in history, but we never seem to learn from history. This 21st I Ching is part of the codon ring called the Ring of Humanity. The shadow frequencies here are the themes that keep us humans victims: struggle, self-obsession, constriction, opinion, agitation, and control. These are the primary shadows of humanity. So discipline is good, but it's a delicate balancing act that the shadow teaches us. All behaviors create their own karma, and humanity doesn't really understand or trust in that yet. Therefore, as humanity, we felt the need to create our own system of punishment and reward. And these systems are often unjust and easily manipulated by the people in positions of power. So the secret to parenting and all of life is to build bonds rather than destroy them. And the stronger the bond is with those around us, the more we can trust that life will do the teaching for us. A moral conscience will only grow in a healthy soil, If you take away that health by taking away someone's freedom, then that natural morality that comes from learning, it can't develop fully enough on its own. It needs freedom. This I Ching has a lot to do with leadership, distribution of money, being decisive, and taking action. One of the shadow tendencies here is to be indecisive and a follower. And yet wherever you see this 21st I Ching, you have thunder and lightning. This energy is here to be a force for good, a leader in that arena. It takes great strength to stand in your own dignity as a leader. It requires a certain willingness to put the cloak of the ego, even though you realize you're not the ego, and others may feel uncomfortable when that decisive power starts coming in out of you. But the reality is, when thunder booms, people tend to be respectful, not out of fear, but out of recognition of authority. On the other side, there's a great amount of pain in this shadow. You either push too hard or not push enough, or you don't push at all. It's a learning curve. The programming partner of the 21st I Ching is one of the great feminine I Chings, the 48th I Ching, the well, the wisdom well. And at the shadow, the 48th I Ching is inadequacy. All tyrants feel inadequate deep down inside, as do all sheep. Not to be rude about sheep, it's just an expression. The Chinese character for this 21st I Ching hexagram originally contained a figure of a shaman, the wise one who sees beyond the veil, and therefore handles difficult situations with wisdom. Of course, this wisdom comes from facing life's challenges. If you have this 21st I Ching in your energetic design, or you're contemplating it, then you will be challenged to rise up out of the lower conditions of humanity, and you will probably have to do it alone, and life will test you in this way. Life is magical like that. This is the shadow that makes you whole. It makes you into the shaman, the spiritual warrior, the leader. There is hidden compassion inside each shadow. The 21st gift, the way to alchemize the shadow and raise the vibration, authority. The challenge for every human being is to find their true inner authority, their inner truth. What I love is that the word author is in the word authority hidden within it. What is the story you're here to tell? What voice wants to rise from the depths of your being, your spirit, and lead others out of the darkness towards the light? Out of the grips of the shadow with its issues of control and being controlled. One day we will begin to raise this inner light of our true authority. And authority comes from openness, from an open mind and an open heart, because only this openness is willing to relinquish control and let go. So the paradox of this gift is when we find the strength to overcome the shadow, it comes from giving up control rather than asserting control. We allow the great power inside us to shine forth. This power is our natural nobility. Every human being has it built in, the natural nobility of spirit. Life calls it out of us, from us. Our destiny, our dharma, is permanently calling it out. Whatever you're facing right now in life, I guarantee it's calling on your nobility to face it with honesty, openness, and craft. This I Ching is all about the human spirit shining bright in the wilderness. Life supplies each of us with exactly the test that we need for our evolution, that we are designed and equipped to handle. And if we meet it, face the test head on, face to face, whatever happens, our spirit will have its day. At the shadow, we feel we can never rise above the weight of the shadow. We're stuck down, competing with each other for scraps around the table, trying to get our little moment of control, always trying to get on top of things. And the energy involved in that game is tremendous. It sucks our life force energy, and at the end of the day, we're exhausted. But when we rise with authority, then we leave those old games and we take a stand. We decide to take a stand for something more noble in life. We put all our energy into something higher. Not that we become arrogant or get beyond ourselves, but deep inside, we reprint our energies, we starve the shadow into submission, and we feed those higher aspirations of our spirit. If you have the 21st I Ching in your energetic design, you will face odds that are stacked up against you. But you must see how wonderful and powerful that is, rather than let it weigh you down. This is all about moving beyond the victim stance. You're not a victim. You're a god. You have been given this old sword and sent out to battle. The 21st gift is the shaman warrior. He or she is given these trials, these tests, in order to polish that sword, to learn, to awaken to this truth. Many times the shaman has to give up control. Each time we die, we come back stronger, more powerful. And this is our destiny. We each have this inner nobility to rise above life's challenges. So the gift of the 21st I Ching is here to polish that sword until it shines. You have been given the sword of authority and to learn from it. And as you do so, life will be more polished, more refined, like the hidden qualities of your spirit. With this 21st I Ching, you are called upon to stand tall, meet obstacles with dignity and courage, and in time others will gravitate towards you, drawn by the very light of your being, that they also want to cultivate inside them, the light of your nobility, the light of your only true authority. The 21st city, the highest vibration, valor. Valor is courage and love. The 21st city is a shaman. A true shaman is a deep contemplative. Your inner spirit transforms life's experiences through facing death, to bite through the veil to the other side, to bring back the fruits from the other side. But the shaman knows that there's no other side, that the veil of life and death is false, and this is where courage and love comes from. All those journeys across the river of death, the shaman sees through the veil of death, the hidden meaning, the hidden wisdom. In the beginning, we use the sword to try to control life, and we only experience punishment. That is karma. But after a while, we realize that the sword can be used for love, to heal life. Ultimately, this city, this frequency will be needed for all travelers into the beyond, because it takes valor to die with an open heart, to give up your identity, your attachments, your body, to merge into the limitless light. It requires a unique cocktail of courage and love, valor. The 21st city is the field that follows a surrendered human being. In other words, once you've given up the I, the identity, then valor is all that's left. The divine operates through valorous acts. You can't own such acts. They simply are the operational mode of consciousness when it's freed from the personal control or identification. The lightning breaks through only when grace dictates, and the thunder always, always precedes it. So be aware, whenever thunder of intense change comes into life, the lightning is never far behind, the light of illumination, of truth. I empower you this week to create space, get to higher awareness, notice your thoughts, feel all the sensations fully that come up in the body. Shine the light of awareness to your need to be in control or feeling controlled. Feel it deeply. Breathe in, breathe out. Remember, love yourself and choose to be blessed.